How did you get your job at Barnes?
The young man what was already working here, he was leaving going to Connecticut to live. He said, Jack, I'll be leaving for Connecticut tomorrow. It's Barnes, that have an opening job and you can go down there and see if you can get it. So I got here that morning at 8 o'clock. The young man who was supposed to get the job wasn't him. Miss Barnes, Ella Barnes, which was the old lady, she said, are you the young man supposed to start working here this morning? I said, yes, ma'am. She handed me a broom and said, sweep the front off. The guy that's supposed to start working here, he didn't show up that day. So out of that, I was here for 46 years, 9 months and 15 days.
What brought you to Barnes in the first place?
I guess I could tell you the story. I knew Charlie's brother, Jimmy, way back, and actually I was in a bar and run over Jimmy's foot. And me and Jimmy got to be, talking and friends, and then Charlie was here. And Charlie was actually wanting to get into the DME wheelchair business. So Jimmy mentioned it to Charlie, and I came up and interviewed with Charlie, and I was in college and went to work with Charlie part-time, actually starting to sell wheelchairs and start on the DME end of it. And that's how I got started at Barnes part-time.
What was it like during the early years at Barnes?
The way DME started out, like the days of the golden commode as we started them, where you could rent a commode for like 15 bucks a month forever. Same thing, we'd set up oxygen. All you had to do is somebody walked in with a script from the doc, said O2, and you gave them oxygen.
Tell us about your experience with the annual Valentine candy event.
Charlie would buy Russell Stover's candy, and they sent you the biggest one they make, okay? Usually this thing sold for $40 or $50. Well, he would raffle that off, okay? I'm talking about Mr. Barnes, Charlie too. And in this process, we would sell chances, like $1 a chance to buy this or to get this candy. And that was a big thing. It was a big push to get rid of the biggest boxes first. And we would have candy everywhere.
I can remember wrapping many a box of Valentine candy on the 13th and on the 14th. We were still open until 8 o'clock at night then, and up until 8 o'clock they were lined out the door trying to get candy for their loved ones to take home to them.
But we would buy 2 or 3 or 4 truckloads of Valentine candy. It would fill up the entire warehouse, all the aisles. It was just thousands and thousands of boxes of Valentine candy. We'd run ads in the paper and promote it on the radio stations, and we sold out every year.
What were some of your early jobs as a kid in the business?
Well, I started, I think, with cleaning equipment. I was just back there in the warehouse with Michael Patovich and Sean Barrett, and cleaned the hospital beds and the wheelchairs, and I helped organize the warehouse a little bit. I didn't have a specific position, but that's pretty much what I did. And then from there I did a few odd jobs around the warehouse, like maintenance and tearing stuff down, a few of the little grunt jobs here and there, until I had a license. Then once I got that, I went and did a few different deliveries. I did pharmacy deliveries, or I did bed delivery here and there. Not too much, but I had to go through all those stages.
What special memories do you have working for Charlie Sr.?
He was all right to work for. He was a strict man, very strict. And he done everything. He wanted everything done the way that it should be done and the way he wanted it done. Like if you was ringing the cash register and you put $1 bills in there, they all had to be turned the same way. You couldn't turn one way and one the other way. You understand? If he wanted the floor mopped, you had to mop it in the way that he wanted you to mop. He was a strict man, but we got along fine.
What was it like working for Charlie Jr.?
I came to work for him, and He put me to work, and I was nothing but just a young girl whenever he put me to work. And I thought, now I can't do this. But he kept on telling me I could. I could do it if I wanted to. He would give me a chance. So he gave me a chance, and it wasn't but about 2 weeks. He said, you go make a good one. So I stayed with him, and he was a wonderful guy to work for.
He was just an upbeat guy. He did, it didn't matter what to him. All he wanted to do was do the work. And so we got along real fine. He treated me real nice. Matter of fact, he bought me my first car. Sure did. And he was a nice gentleman to work for.
I can remember working with Mr. B when I was a pharmacy tech, working at Forest Park with him and Mike Rentz. He was just a hoot to work with. I mean, as somebody said earlier, he didn't really, the computer, he didn't care about it, but he would hold his little prescription up and he would, peck one key at the time and look at it, and he always wore his glasses on the top of his head up here. He'd set them up there and then flip them down or put them back into him. And I love Mr. B. I love Charlie too, but it was special working actually in the pharmacy with Mr. B.
Mr. B is dear to my heart, I'll be honest with you. I opened up Barnes at Forest Park, and Charlie was my partner, or Mr. B. And he would work he was retiring at that time, so he cut his hours back, and he would work about a third of the shift. But I really enjoyed him. He was a very wise man, and I learned a lot from him. Matter of fact, he could truly handle customer service with a charm. He was very good at that. And as far as running the business, there's a lot of things that I personally think I picked up from him through the years that has made me the pharmacist that I am.
But I remember working with Mr. Barnes in Lake Park in the pharmacy, and he was fun to work with. He was just a real character, and when he filled prescriptions, he would have to get real close to the computer, and he wasn't used to, using the computers and printers and all, but he was always fun to work with.